But now, this is very important. There's something called the Intra-Coastal Waterway, not intracoastal,
Mm-hmm.
intracoastal. Or the acronym is ICW. The ICW is a bunch of markers linked together, and it runs in New Jersey from Manasquan River through the Point Pleasant Canal through Barnegat Bay all the way to Cape May. It's 118 miles long. There's about 500 numerically sequenced markers that make up the ICW, and the ICW actually starts in Jersey. And if you can take an inland passage and never go in the ocean. And where's your last stop? Mexico. It goes all the way to Brownsville, Texas.
Wow.
How cool would it be to have some cash, have a decent boat and have plenty of time, and you say, hey, I'll be back in maybe a year or two.
That's amazing.
I know, isn't that great? But we're part of that system here. We're the very, very beginning of the ICW. Again, it's about 120 miles long, and it basically parallels the Garden State Parkway. It's kind of like the Garden State Parkway for boats.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so the way you can tell you're in the ICW is it has about a 4-inch yellow triangle inside the marker, or a yellow square inside the green square marker, right? A yellow triangle on the red, a yellow square on the green. And they're the two color markers, right? And the way the pattern is, it's not red, right, returning. It does not apply here. It's red, right, south. So if you're in Ocean City and you want to take a ride to Cape May for lunch, by the way, that's a fun thing to do. That's what I do with people. I just show them around and do orientations, and we'll go down to Cape May and have lunch. There's about 8 restaurants that you can pull up to by boat. And I'll tell you, you're having a good day when you pull up to a restaurant by boat. There's just something special about that. The food tastes better. It always tastes better. It always tastes better, especially when other people are buying, It's
That's
great.
Right.
But the way it works, the ICW is the red on your right heading south. So if you're heading down to Cape May from Ocean City, you're heading southbound. It's not true south on the compass, but it's down New Jersey. It's red right towards Rehoboth, if you want to make up a phrase, right? Or another way to say the same thing, if you're in the ICW, if it has a yellow sticker on that green marker, the greens are over there by that green ocean. So green by the green sea. So that's how it is. Green by in the ICW, ocean side, red other side. Where it gets very confusing is you can be in the ICW and then get out of the ICW and you see another marker, but it's not ICW. ICW made a turn. It went the other way. You didn't know that, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. So you're going to find that right in Great Egg Inlet there by Ocean City. The ICW is not in the inlet. It goes behind under the other bridge here. I forget the name of it, but back that way. So it's a little confusing at times. So that's where a chart comes into play, and you can, just see before you go. Let's see what we got. Hey, what channel marker do we turn to get to your house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which channel marker do we turn to go up the river? Is it a big deal following this stretch? There are, bad bays. Like in Ocean City, it's not too bad there, but there are a lot of sandbars. But the further you go south, like Ludlam Bay in Sea Isle City,
mm-hmm.
if you look on a chart, it's about maybe 3 miles wide. There's only one little stretch you can run. That's it. It's 30 feet. You have 30 feet of good water, and instead of 3 miles. Right? It's crazy.
Wow.
And same thing with behind Stone Harbor and Avalon. There's a little stretch called the football field, and there's no water there. I'm telling you, the ICW is so skinny, it's unbelievable. And Wildwood, the same thing. There's some spots where the channel markers at low tide are laying sideways in the mud. Right?
Oh my goodness.
Last year, they changed the colors of 2 markers. They went from green to red because it was better on the other side. They didn't move them. They just changed the color. Isn't that great?
Gosh.
I know. So what I would suggest, if you want to be an experienced boater down the Jersey Shore and you have the time and the opportunity to get out, is to cruise the ICW, do a little stretch. And by the way, you can do a whole New Jersey vacation by jet ski. How cool would that be?
That is
or maybe
cool.
Or an overnighter. You can go up to AC, right? get a room there. You have to get a transient slip.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'll go over it later if we have time with my apps. And there's an app for that where you can make reservations at a slip. And you can bring a little suitcase or whatever. If you have a boat, you can bring your golf clubs, and you can just do a boating vacation and just stay in Jersey. And you can fish along the whole way and try different spots where you can stop at restaurants and order the fish the whole way. It's kind of cool. And that's really a fun way to do a different kind of boating, is to do a trip by boat. And there's really something special about that too. I just love doing that. I just really, really enjoy it. So again, that's something else but you need to learn the area. Jersey is one of the trickiest waterways we have on the whole East Coast, right? The ICW, they call it, the nickname is the ditch. And the ditch in Jersey, the 118-mile stretch, there's a lot of issues. But
why
if you know
is that?
it's because it's so narrow and shallow.
Is it just the terrain of the pine barrens through there and the swamps?
It's just over time, Mother Nature has filled in, and the mud's creeping in. I am a boat captain, and I'm on the water 175 days a year. In Jersey, maybe 80, 90 days a year, right? Every year I touch bottom, every year, and I know where I'm going. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying I get stuck, but I go start kicking up mud. I said, where'd that come from? I wasn't there last year,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's happening. So even though you've been somewhere, a couple of years ago, it doesn't mean it's still good. So that's why a little reconnaissance mission, and just looking around, go slow. If you don't know, you got to go slow. And people think, well, I got a jet ski. I could or a jet boat. I don't have an outdrive. I don't have to worry about that. I can go in shallow water. Well, I don't know. I think it's worse, right? Because if you start touching bottom, your whole boat's stuck. With an outboard, you can tilt it up and maybe put people in front of the boat, and I've done that many times. And then you can kind of sneak off, right? With a jet ski, if you start kicking up mud, it's too late. You know what I mean? The whole boat's touching bottom, not just the outdrive, because there's nothing that sticks down.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so it's something to consider. And if you're going really fast and you run aground, you can really get injured. So yeah, again, knowledge is important with any kind of activity where there's potential danger, right? With boating, there's just a different, bunch of rules or things you need to know. And it's unfortunately, it comes, the way you learn it is by screwing up, right?